All right, it's about time to rank some Stephen King. Hey everyone, welcome back to Andrew's Wizardly Reads. And today, guys, we have got a tier list ranking video here for you. But before we get into that, please like this video, subscribe to the channel as it does help us grow, and check that description box down below for the link to the Wizardly Duo Discord, as well as links to all my social media, including information about my Patreon. Now, today, guys, we have got a Stephen King tier list ranking. I did a short a little while ago where I ranked my top 3, but I've read around 25 Stephen King books. I'm not entirely sure on the number, but this list kind of has a multitude of books. It's, I think, current, and so we're going to do my best to not hurt anybody's feelings. But if if you don't like where I've ranked something, please let me know in the comments down below. We can talk about it. I mean, reading's all subjective, and with somebody as prolific as King, there's bound to be different tastes. Now, this video idea comes is because my patrons are allowed to request videos from me. And so this one is a video request from Jake, the Bookish Drummer. He wanted to see me rank Stephen King because we talk King quite a bit. So that is why this video is happening. And I think it's about time anyway. So let's see if I can do the thing. I did the thing. Okay, now I've got to jump over here. Technology and technology shifts and all that, Woo! All right, so the way that this one is, and I deleted a row. There was a poor row, and I didn't really want to do that. So we've got top 5, we've got amazing, we've got great, we've got good, average, and bottom 5. All right, so we're gonna start with Salem's Lot. I'm gonna start by putting that in my top 5, mainly because I love Salem's Lot. We're also probably gonna put The Shining in amazing. I read Shining in college, and I remember not being able to put the book down. The reason it doesn't go straight into top 5 is because it has been around 10 years, and I haven't picked it back up. I own a copy of The Shining still, but I'm going off of pure memory here. The Stand I read last year. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in top 5. And we'll see how that shakes out, because there's some stuff in The Stand. I read the expanded version in 1990. There's some stuff that works. There's some stuff that doesn't, but we'll see how that shakes out. Next up, we've got Night Shift. I'm going to put Night Shift in good to start, just because it's a collection, and there's some stuff that works, and there's some stuff that doesn't. I'm going to put this here, and before you come at me, I'll explain it later. This is Dead Zone. And this is like an award-winning book, and it's also Jake's favorite book by Stephen King. And so, Jake, careful what you wish for, because I read 11/22/63 first, and this predates 11/22/63 by decades. But I still feel like he took some ideas and recycled them and evolved them and put them into 11/22/63. And because I read 11/22/63 first, that's the one that is in my heart. All right, Cujo. I am not a Cujo fan. I felt like Cujo would have been an excellent novella, but I think that it doesn't fully work for me as a fully fleshed out novel. And it could be that when I read this, I was forcing myself to read too many King books. But for me, Cujo goes in a bottom 5. All right, we're starting off The Dark Tower. And, where do I feel about The Gunslinger? Because I think it's got an amazing start and an amazing end. But the beef of the book, we're going to put it at the top of good. There we go. And then we'll revisit that in a minute. Pet Cemetery I read when I was in high school, and it scared the pants off of me, to the point where, like, it's on my do not reread list. And especially now that I'm a parent, I can't reread Pet Cemetery. So yeah, it's going here bottom 5, just specifically because I can't reread it. It has no reread value for me. Christine is going in the average category. I watched the movie again in high school. I really enjoyed the movie, but when I was reading it, I felt like I would have rather been reading something else. All right, we've got It. It goes right up here into the top 5. It would go. We'll rearrange stuff later, but I mean, if it weren't for 10 pages in that book, I could arguably say it was my favorite King book of all time. Let's see, but it's not. Misery, misery loves company. We're gonna put it in front of Night Shift, and I think the expectation of Misery is what brings this so low on my list. I've been hearing misery for years, and oh, the movie won so many awards, and the book is just so creepy. And then there's like a book within a book in Misery, and I didn't really care for those sections. I understand why they're there, but we're gonna go ahead and put it right here in the middle of Misery and see if it stays there. Drawing of the Three goes straight. I'm going to put it in front of The Shining because it is amazing. It is what truly let me know I was in for a good time with The Dark Tower. All right, I don't know what this one is, and so I don't think I've read it, though. So we're going to go ahead and say that I haven't read that one. The Dark Half. I read it. I don't remember it. So it's going into the bottom 5, and then, as I continue to do reads and rereads, it may move throughout the list. But I read it all the way back in high school, and I've got snips that I kind of remember. But other than that, like, that's all that I remember. And because I've read it, it makes the list, but because I don't remember it, it goes in the bottom 5. Needful Things. For those of you who know me, this is my favorite Stephen King book. Leland Gaunt is amazing. So it is going right there, top of the list. Okay, we've got The Wastelands. Now, The Wastelands is not quite as good as Drawing of the Three, but it is still absolutely amazing. I feel good about that. I feel good. We're going to leave it there. All right. Wizard and Glass. Let's flip some tables. Going to my bottom 5. There are just some elements of Wizard and Glass. The characterization and the story is really good, but there's just some elements there that it gets ruined for me. So, unfortunately, it's bottom 5. Not because it's a bad book, just because it's got elements I don't like. We've got our first great book. And I'm gonna go ahead and put Insomnia there, but no, I'm second guessing it. I don't know. We'll fix this later. Like I said a billion times. Okay, Rose Madder. That's a Bachman book. I've read. I feel like I started The Regulators in high school and I didn't finish it. Same with Tommyknockers. Did I finish Tommyknockers? I think I got weirded out and didn't understand what was happening in Tommyknockers, and so I stopped it like halfway through. So yeah, we'll see. We've got The Colorado Kid, and The Colorado Kid is just it's really just a bunch of hot air to me. Like, it doesn't really go anywhere, and so it's gonna be the bottom of the list as well. It's not my least favorite though. That's going to be, we're gonna put Wizard and Glass at the top of my bottom 5. And we're going to put Pet Sematary because Pet Sematary is good. It's just creepy. All right, where are we next? Ah, yes, The Wind Through the Keyhole. The Wind Through the Keyhole is average. It felt unneeded. For somebody who was reading Dark Tower for the first time, I understand why people love Wind Through the Keyhole, because you get just a little bit more of those characters after so long away from them, but I didn't have to wait for more of them, and so it kind of fell flat for me. Let's see. We've got Song of Susanna. We've got another great novel. I think Song of Susanna is great, and I don't, we're gonna put it in front of Insomnia. I don't know why I stopped reading The Dark Tower at Song of Susanna back in high school. During my first kind of King awakening. or my king bout of king. I don't know how to say this, but it for some weird reason it wasn't working for me, or maybe I just went ooh squirrel and went somewhere else. So we're gonna put that there because I loved it this time. Well, I liked it. I didn't love it. Otherwise, it'd be ranked higher, wouldn't it? All right, Joyland. Joyland is good. Joyland is probably going to go in front of Misery. We're going to bump Gunslinger up to great. And in front, no, I liked Insomnia. Was it Ralph, the main character? Ralph was awesome. So that's where that's going to go. Ooh, excuse me. All right. Wolves of the Kala. People are going to be so mad at me for putting Wolves of the Kala so much higher than Wizard and Glass. I already know it. But I think Wolves of the Kala goes here. It's one of those great Dark Tower books. But it is just a good blend of sci-fi and Western and all of that. I loved it. All right. 11, 22, 63 goes up here. So we're going to round that out as going right here. We're going to take it. We're going to put it right here. And then, yeah, the stand is probably the least of my favorite top 5. All right. We've got next up. So we've done... How many Dark Towers have we done? We've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got to do 8. The Dark Tower. Where do I fall on the Dark Tower? I thought it was good. We're going to put it top of good. Just because there's some stuff that works for me. There's some stuff that doesn't. And we're going to kind of just leave it right there for now. Maybe I'll like it better on reread, which when that happens, I don't know. All right, digging around on what else. Okay, Fairy Tale. Fairy Tale is the bottom of average. In fact, Fairy Tale is going to kick out Wizard and Glass, and it's going to come down here to my bottom 5. The first 30% of Fairy Tale is absolutely fantastic. And, well, no, I got physically angry at Wizard and Glass. So we're going to change our mind. We're going to put it at the bottom of average. Just because it had so much potential. And I think making it a Portal Fantasy was a mistake. But, I mean, again, Stephen King sells millions of copies, and I just review books here on YouTube. What do I know? It didn't end up working for me. So many books that I own that I need to read. Let's see, I own Carrie already. I own Firestarter. I own I own The Green Mile. I know I've got that. I've got Doomakey. I feel like I've read the first few pages of Doomakey and Bag of Bones, but I can't reliably say whether or not I actually completed those reading experiences, which is why I'm not going to rank them. We've got Later here. Where do we want to put Later? Later is my top 5's rounded out, isn't it? Well, then we're going to put Later at the top of No, it's not as good as Drawing the 3. We're going to put it right there. Let's see. Have I missed anything? Because I've been known to do that. So we're going to go through one last time. Because the man is so prolific, I really want to read Eyes of the Dragon, just because people are split on it. Desperation, Bag of Bones, Hearts of Atlantis, On Writing, Gerald's Game, I've got Dolores, I haven't read it yet. I've got Buick 8, I haven't read it yet. I picked up Cell, I think in middle school, and quickly realized I was not old enough to be reading that and put it back down. I've got Dr. Sleep. I've got the whole Mr. Mercedes. I've got Revival. I just haven't read these yet. I've got The Outsider. I've already pre-ordered Holly. I've got Billy Summers. I've got The Institute. I've got all of these books. I just need to read them. So how many do we have here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 13, 17, 21, 26. Hey, look at that. 26 books. Let's see how I feel about it. Needful Things, number 1. Oh, how do I feel about this? Yeah, we're going to leave 11, 22, 63 there. Salem's Lot and Stand. These are my top 5. Depending on the day, these could rotate in and out of each other, although Needful Things is a solid, my favorite Stephen King book. Drawing of the Three is amazing. So is Later. Wastelands is really good. Do I want to move Wastelands? No, because I really liked Wastelands. I feel like that's the first time we feel the quartet really kind of come together. Shining, The Shining has just stuck with me so long that it has to be amazing. Great, top of greatest song is Susanna, Wolves of the Kala. Insomnia, yeah, no, I really enjoyed Insomnia, but that's because I was reading it as part of the Dark Tower experience, so I kind of knew what was going on and how that slotted in. Gunslinger, yeah, okay. Joyland. Joyland just has a lot of fluff, which is why I only think it's good. I got caught up in the hype of Misery. Night Shift was good. That was part of. I read that as part of the short story collection Read Along that Jake hosts over on his Discord. Dead Zone didn't really work for me. Christine was just okay. I didn't really get the hype for. In fact, I'm gonna pop that right there. I didn't really get the hype for Went Through the Keyhole. It felt unnecessary to me. Fairy Tale feels like wasted potential. And then I have issues with Wizard and Glass. I have issues with Pet Cemetery. I don't remember The Dark Half, but I know I've read it. So I've got it on the shelf to reread. Colorado Kid just feels like it doesn't really do anything except say, we have a mystery. And then Cujo felt like a novella that got made into a novel. So that is my ranking here. I actually feel pretty good about all of this. So that is my Stephen King ranking, guys. Let me know in the comments if you agree or if you disagree. And as always, guys, till next time, peace out. Stay magical. Bye. And as always, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons.